Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be big box store plant shopping at the Walmart off of West Plano, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing and hitting the like button for this video. It definitely helps push this video out to more plant lovers like yourself. And if you can, also follow me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me if you have any questions about any of the plants that I featured on my videos. But anyways, it is a beautiful sunny day in North Dallas. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie. I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos with a live premiere chat. We will be exploring the Walmart to see if we have some more new houseplants for the new year 2025 and to see if we have some more trending tropical plants by Costa Farms. But before we get into that, I did want to announce that I am part of a plant podcast called Cultivation Corner. If you haven't already, season 1 has ended, but you can watch all of our episodes on the Cultivation Corner YouTube channel. Season 2 is on its way. We will be recording it with Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants. But as you can see right here, I am at the West Plano Walmart, and I just wanted to see if they have some more plant restocks. As you can see, it is still winter, but for some reason, we've already been getting some plant restocks, some new plants for 2025, new house plants. And I want to go ahead and take you alongside plant shopping with me. I love shopping at Walmart because you'll find some really good plant finds. Like right now, we are looking at some golden pothos right here, and these are the hanging baskets for $10.97. It is in a 6-inch planter, and I always talk about pothos plants or Epipremnum aureum. These plants are super easy to take care of. They are beginner plants, but I would even go as far as to say that pothos plants are not just for beginners. It is also for people that have collected plants in general, because it does just bring us joy. I love the fact that the care is easy care. You want to give it bright indirect light, water when the soil is either completely dry or at least 60% dry. It is an easy to care for plant, and what I like is you can either grow it as a trailing house plant on a hanging basket, or you can let it grow up a totem pole, a moss pole, a stake to get the leaves to grow really large. You know, golden pothos or any type of pothos plant is easy to propagate. Once it starts to vine like that, you can actually take plant cuttings and stick it directly into soil, or you can water propagate it. I prefer to propagate pothos plants in water, and I've actually been doing a lot of that over the holidays. I just think that a full basket of pothos is so satisfying. And then whenever you go to plant shopping at Walmart, for instance, the hanging baskets are really cost effective. So if you're looking to save money for the new year in terms of your house plant collection or your plant hobby, going plant shopping at Walmart is a good place to go plant shopping because of the plant pricing. I would say Costa Farms and just a lot of the plants that are sourced into Walmart are the most cost effective as compared to some of the other big box stores like Lowe's and Home Depot. But you can see right here, I'm just going to be picking up a bunch of these pothos plants. And if you are looking for the rare and uncommon philodendron, you are in for a treat, because to my surprise, at the very end of the video, you're going to see where to find these variegated plants, these rare and uncommon plants for a really good price. I would say the new year 2025 is definitely going to bring us a lot of joy when it comes to the houseplant collection. For anybody wanting to buy plants or acquire some more of the more rare and uncommon plants, the new year is definitely going to be an awesome year for us. I would say in North Dallas, which is where I'm based at, we are about to experience some really cold weather. As I filmed this video, it looks like on Thursday this week, we will be experiencing some snow. So I'm glad that I went out and about and started plant shopping. And even more so, I'm glad that a lot of these indoor tropical plants have made it into the big box stores safely, hopefully. And I say hopefully, if there are any big box stores like Walmart, hopefully that they bring all of their plants inside and protect them from the cold weather, because it's going to be definitely cold for us out in the North Dallas area. But going back to the plants, plant foliage, you can see right here, this is a dogtail cactus. Really love the look of the dogtail cactus. It's another plant that is definitely a succulent, but it is more of a tropical plant as compared to some of those desert type cactus and succulent. I am learning more about succulents and cactus, and this year I am wanting to really delve into more of the succulents and cactus. Now, as far as this channel, Plant Foldies, I definitely have a diverse selection of plants. You already know I love talking about anything that is related to plants, whether it's indoor tropical plants, which is basically the core of this channel, but I will also talk about outdoor gardening, vegetable gardening, Japanese maples, bonsai, and all of the likes that has anything to do with plants. Now, as far as a plant that I absolutely love, I have actually made up my mind and mentioned that neon pothos is probably my favorite pothos plant. I know that there are many varieties of pothos plants, even the Japanese pothos plants, but for some reason that neon color, it just brings me so much joy because it's just such a striking plant. It's one of those plants that is a performer. As long as you water it consistently, as long as you give it bright indirect light, it is gonna grow fast for you. And I love fast growing plants, and it's crazy because the main plant that I am collecting in my plant collection are Aglaonema. They're a little slower growing, but if a plant has the characteristics of being low light tolerant, drought tolerant, and a fast grower, that is a shoe-in for any plant that has those characteristics to enter my houseplant collection. I mean, right over here is a Philodendron heteroraceum. Sometimes this is also called a Philodendron cordatum. If you are versed in plant names and plant IDs, please leave in the comment section if that is the correct term for this Philodendron. Is it a cordatum or a heteroraceum, which is basically a heart shaped leaf on this Philodendron? This one is for $15.98. It is $1 less than say Lowe's, and that's why it's very important whenever you're shopping to go ahead and compare and contrast prices. I say that if you're trying to manage your finances, especially at the very beginning of a new year, sometimes window shopping is a lot more beneficial as compared to actually just up and going and buying plants. But I don't blame you, plant foldies. It is one of those things where it's very challenging to go to a big box store like Walmart, especially during a plant restock, when you know all the plants are getting restocked. Like I said again in my previous video for new house plants of 2025, there was a lot of engagement because we did see a lot of new trending tropical plants. We saw a bunch of variegated plants like the Philodendron Paraíso Verde. We saw some Philodendron Pink Princess Marble. We saw a Philodendron Subestatum. And then most likely everybody was really interested in finding a variegated Monstera Thai Constellation. And I urge anybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to definitely check out their Walmarts. Definitely watch my videos because I will be filming pretty much Walmarts all across the Dallas-Fort Worth area to show you where you can find these plants. Now, obviously, if you're not in Texas, if you're not in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would say still watch my videos, because if one area or a big box store brings plants in, most likely those sellers, those nurseries, those growers will be sending those plants to all of the big box stores. I just happen to be very fortunate to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where plants are abundant, but more importantly, we have a lot of big box stores to choose from. I mean, right here, this is a Costa Farms hanging basket of Epipremnum aureum golden pothos. Look at that variegation right there. Now, this one is for $19.84. Now, if you're going to compare hanging baskets, typically an 8-inch hanging basket right there will be $20.84, but we will see what that looks like as we continue to go plant shopping. Just a couple of updates. I know that a couple of live premieres back, and for those that really follow my my channel, I'm really excited that you have stayed alongside with me. I cannot believe that we've been doing plant shopping videos for more than a year. I am proud of the fact that I have made great attempts to just try to give you daily plant shopping content. And you know, there was a brief moment, and I would say brief moment, where I didn't really share that I actually was feeling a little bit of plant burnout. I was feeling like I was actually contemplating on whether I should scale back all the way, where I wouldn't do as consistent videos, or more so just stop doing YouTube plant videos, because it was just getting a little bit overwhelming. But when I thought about it, the root cause was because my inner space, my indoor space in terms of my house, had just a lot of clutter, a lot of plants just being thrown everywhere. There wasn't any plant styling. There wasn't any type of how do I put it, any type of intention or curation for these plants. And when I decided one day last week to just put everything aside and just stop going plant shopping and stop filming and actually dedicate an entire day to clean and organize my plants, it pretty much cured my plant burnout, because now I'm able to wake up, see how organized my plants are, be able to take care of them, have a more consistent routine. And when you have that consistent routine around your plants, it just makes things more satisfying. And I'm able to even be more consistent about filming plant shopping videos. Like this, I was able to film a good 4 more hours worth of plant content that I will be premiering this week. And so I know that I've talked through a lot of these plants, and for those that are just discovering my plant YouTube channel, I tend to ramble a lot. If you know, that's probably the most polite way for me to say that about myself, but I kind of utilize these as almost like personal blogs to talk to the plant foldies a little bit more directly. I think that that is a lot of the draw of this channel. Is it's very organic. I don't really have a script. What I do is I'll go to a big box store, film all the plants, actually practice mindfulness, and actually enjoy just looking at the plants and filming them. I mean, look at this Bonnie spider plant, for instance. This one is for $19.84, and talk through either the care of the plants or even talk about just my life in general. I know that a lot of people have wanted to get to know me a little bit more so, and I'm a little bit more comfortable sharing just a little bit more tidbits about my day-to-day routines. Have no fear, I will be showing more of myself, yes, myself and my personal plant as I work on my houseplant tour. Very excited about that. I've already started filming segments of it, so stay tuned for that. And as far as a face reveal, I might do a face reveal, but just like I mentioned in some of my other videos, I really feel like staying faceless on YouTube is a little bit more comfortable for myself, because then I can have a hard separation between social media and my day-to-day everyday life. Sometimes things get complicated when your social media presence also spills into your daily life, where you're interacting with the people you see on a daily basis in real life versus social media. I do believe that at times we expose too much of ourselves on the social medias, to the point where, number one, people make opinions about you that have never met you, and then number two, you don't have something that you can keep for yourself. And I do believe that, yes, we can be very generous with how we are as individuals, what we put out there on social media, but I always live with the fact that you need to think before you click. Be mindful of the kind of comments you place for other folks that you may have never met but only have met through social media. It is a powerful tool, and I like to utilize my plant shopping videos as a platform to really bring in the plant foldy community, to foster positivity, and just to get everybody excited about plants. Like, I am just really excited at the fact that I can take you to Walmart in West Plano, Texas today and show you all of these gorgeous houseplants. So let me get off of my soapbox and start talking about the plants, because I know you guys are ready. But for $15.97, we've got an Aglaonema red Siam here. Now, Aglaonemas, I've talked about it in all my videos, and will continue to talk to you guys about all my love for Aglaonemas. Super easy plant to take care of. It is one that, if you haven't already and you call yourself a plant foldy, please, number one, at least consider getting the plant. Number two, buy the plant. And number three, please share in the comment section that you ended up getting an Aglaonema red Siam or just an Aglaonema. You can go to any Walmart and find these gorgeous plants. And like I said again, they are easy to care for, very low light tolerant, drought tolerant, and just an easy care for plant. Now next to it right here is a Calathea makoyana, or the peacock Calathea. These are the plant care tips. You can feel free to hit the pause button if you want the Costa Farms plant care tips, because they're definitely the experts. They're the ones that are growing these plants. Now, this isn't a self-watering planter for $15.97. And again, in terms of these plants right here, gotta love the look of Calatheas. So the thing about Calatheas is I am not gonna add any Calatheas to my plant collection, purely for the fact that they just haven't performed well for me. And whenever you're bringing plants that haven't given you a lot of success, I would say don't necessarily give up on the plant. Maybe reassess what could have happened, whether it's your lighting conditions, your humidity levels, or just even the time and effort that you placed into growing the plant. If for some reason those factors have already been assessed and you're still not having success with the plant, it's one of those things where we have to have that I guess that inner dialogue with ourselves, with certain plants that are just not going to be able to grow in our spaces. And for me, Calatheas are definitely a plant that, as much as I would love to add the beautiful foliage, they're just not going to work out for me, because I've tried to grow Calatheas in soil. I've tried to grow them in semi-hydro substrates like lechuza pond and leca, and they still haven't performed well for me. So maybe I might revisit them down the line. I know that there's a couple of plant folies that gave me some plant tips in the comment section. Love that. And please feel free to chime in either during the live premiere chat if you're watching this live, or if you are watching this again, just leave in the comment section your plant stories, your plant care tips, because the plant foley community learns from each other. I definitely learn from y'all. It's kind of silly that a lot of people think I am a plant expert. I am far from it. A lot of my plant knowledge is really learned from my grandmother, who is really the source of all my plant inspiration, and then also just learning from the viewers and subscribers of Growfolds. So definitely leave those comments for me. And you can see right here, I'm going to pick this up. This is a Philodendron Birkin. Some people will also call this the Philodendron white measure. It's interesting how plants have evolved in terms of just the plant names. But as far as a Philodendron Birkin, this is an easy to care for plant. This is also for $15.97 at Walmart. So if you want to go shopping, run to Walmart, get yourself a Philodendron Birkin. Super easy plant. And what I've realized is you can actually grow a Philodendron Birkin in hydroponics. So straight water. You can take the soil substrate, wash off all of the soil, stick it in a bowl of water with a little bit of nutrient solution, and it is one of the easiest and best performing philodendron to put in straight water. And this week, I've actually taken a little bit more time as I've done these plant shopping videos to experiment with more different types of substrates, growing mediums, and that's what's made the new year a new refresh for me with the plants. I mean, but you can see right here, I'm just going behind the shelf now to show you this gorgeous Calathea makoyana. And again, this is for $15.97. So if you are wanting to go shopping, definitely be inspired to do so. Just know that if you're going to get a Calathea makoyana, this stunner right here, she is a diva. You're going to need to give it more frequent waterings. They don't really like their soil to dry out completely, more humidity. And the best tip that I got from a plant foley in the comment section is Calatheas like to be grouped around side with a lot of other plants. For some reason, if you don't group them around other plants, they start to get that crispy leaves. And also lighting also helps. If you give it more bright indirect light, apparently Calatheas will also perform well. So that's something I may revisit down the line, but for now, I am enjoying my easy to care for plants. And if you ask me, trends become trends because people talk about plants. So we're going to use this as an example. Aglaonema golden fluorite, for instance. This one is a trending tropicals plant by Costa Farms for $19.84. Here's the thing about Aglaonemas. We can possibly make it a plant trend for 2025 if we, as a plant foldy community, as a plant community in general, bring more awareness, bring more talk, bring more social media presence for that Aglaonema. Because what I've noticed is trending plants, and I'll use a specific philodendron years back, like the philodendron Spiritus Sancti. It was like thousands of dollars, but when you really look back at the plant, yes, it's got beautiful narrow leaves, but it was really just the number one, the monetary value people were asking for, and number two, just the hype. Can we just hype the Aglaonemas? Like, plant folies, can we please hype up the Aglaonemas? Like I said, again, gorgeous, colorful foliage. And when you compare it to the next plant that I'm about to pick up, the Calathea makoyana, that is such an easy to care for plant, and it's readily accessible for the general public. So my thing about it is, if there's the majority of us picking up these plants, if these plants are actually accessible to the general public, why can't we make it into a plant trend? And another plant trend I'm hoping that we can push is green plants. So like this Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, this is another trending tropicals plant by Costa Farms, $19.84. Highly recommend this because it is another plant that is a fast growing, very vigorous plant. Now here it is, another beautiful plant. I love the green foliage, the textured leaves. This is a Monstera Peru for $19.84 by Costa Farms, trending tropicals. You'll notice that Costa Farms is actually has new self-watering planters. I would also say self-watering planters over the years have really become popular, and I've noticed that a lot of these big box stores like Walmart have already started pushing out some new planters, and some of it is actually straight self-watering planters. That's exciting for me because I honestly want to start converting a lot of my plants from soil substrates into putting them into the semi-hydro substrates. So utilizing substrates like Lechuza Pond, Amazon, if you hear me, Lechuza World, if you hear me, please get Lechuza Pond back in stock on Amazon so I can purchase it, and everybody else that loves that can purchase it. And also use Leca. Leca is a little bit more of a cheaper or inexpensive alternative to Lechuza Pond. It's not as great for some of the plants that have more finer roots like Alocasia, but it'll still get the job done. Now, as far as the Monstera Peru, this is another plant that I would really like to push for more awareness and people getting excited about because it's just a gorgeous green plant. And like I said, again, I do think that green plants are often overlooked. They're often overrated, not overrated, underrated. And for me, those are the plants that are the true stunners. They're the ones that have not mutated. They're the most natural looking ones that come from the natural environment. And they're the ones that will typically perform much better in an indoor space when you try to grow them as a house plant. So just be mindful about that. And then you can see here, plant foldies, we got some bromeliads. I'm just going to go walk around for a minute and just kind of show you the plants that they have available. Again, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching all the way through so far. And please make sure, if you haven't already, please make sure to press the like button. That helps push this video out to more plant lovers like yourself. And you know, I always believe sharing is caring. If you already know that we're going to see some variegated monsteras, some rare uncommon plants at the latter part of this video, you definitely want your friends to see that as well. And if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, at least you'll know exactly where to go to get your house plants for the new year 2025. So we're going to go ahead and pick up some plants and just leave some commentary for me.
You don't want my love, you just want me crying over you. And I'm thinking about you, thinking about
talk about the fact that the Alocasia Silver Dragon is another stunner that I absolutely love. Look at how gorgeous this plant is. And again, this is for $19.84. And yes, it is a little bit pricey for some people, but for me, when you think about Alocasia Silver Dragon a couple years back, that plant was super expensive. So I don't mind seeing Costa Farms release this as a trending tropical plant, because it's one of those plants that I believe could be in everybody's plant collection. I do think that there is a certain level that of care that in Alocasia requires, but for the most part, to me, it's still a pretty nice looking plant. And for $19.84, if you are wanting to add a beautiful Alocasia Silver Dragon, go ahead and go shopping at Walmart. Definitely get the best value for it, because I do think for a trending tropical plant, $19.84 is not bad. It is in a self-watering planter. And as far as care tips, again, for Alocasia, definitely give it a little bit more humidity. Definitely make sure you stay on top of the watering. So I would make sure to water it completely and get the soil soaked or whatever substrate, let it dry out completely, and you should be good to go. Now, Aglaonema golden fluorite, again, this is another trending tropicals plant. And if anybody is working for Costa Farms, if Costa Farms sees my plant shopping videos, know that I am a huge fan of your plant. Know that I will promote Costa Farms all the way, and know that we need more Aglaonema. So I hope that Costa Farms will continue to push out new varieties of Aglaonemas. There is a term that I use on the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast, whether a plant is a want or a need. A plant that is considered a want is a plant that either is a wish list plant, a plant that you don't necessarily have to buy that very day when you're going out and buying plants. A need is a plant that you have to buy today. And I will say with Aglaonema, the crazy thing is they're always going to be a need. That is my favorite type of plant, and you can't blame me, right? Like, look at that foliage, look at that golden color, look at that red vein, look at all of the nuances of these Aglaonema golden fluorite. $19.84. There are typically about 3 Aglaonema in a pot in terms of just what Costa Farms releases. And for me, that is an awesome value, because you can actually separate these plants. Like what I would do if I were to buy another golden fluorite, I have already 3 of them at home, is I would actually separate it and actually make more plants out of it. What's great about Aglaonema is as it matures and actually establishes, it likes to self-propagate, meaning that it will push out babies from its root system that you can separate from the mother plant. But as far as all of those Aglaonema, again, beautiful plants. Let me know in the comments which one you would buy. You can utilize the timestamp. And I will say, for all of the plant foldies that have participated in the live premiere chats and have tried to help me get my chat goals, those are basically super stickers or super thanks. So what they are is a monetary tip that you can give on YouTube to just either show appreciation, but more so just to support the content creator. For me, if you are inclined to help me with a monetary tip by using a super sticker or super thanks, any amount is great. It definitely helps fund the gas that I use to go travel all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It definitely helps with some of my supplies to continue this YouTube channel. I was thinking of doing a Patreon or a membership tier eventually this year for the really die-hard plant foldies, so that stay tuned for more of that information. But as far as the super stickers, I did want to shout out Bella from Houston. Thank you for always dropping a super sticker. I also wanted to say thank you to Travis, to Marlon, and to Michelle, my plant foldie that I'm hoping to meet out in Orlando for PlantCon 2024. I mean, not 2024, PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, Florida, February 22nd. I am excited to be attending that. And just know, if you're watching my YouTube channel, I will have hours and hours and hours of PlantCon greatness, just lots of content for all of those rare and uncommon plants. But as you can see right here, I'm still picking up some plants. These are for $5.48. These are the exotic angel plants, and I picked up the purple passion plant, beautiful dark foliage, and now we have the variegated teardrop peperomia. Love the look of the variegated teardrop peperomia. The thing about it is one of those plants that it's more of a want for me, because I have really tried to downsize my plant collection. And the reason being, when you downsize or reduce your plant collection, you have less plants to care for, more time to enjoy the plants, and just a lot more just space. I think sometimes when we clutter our spaces with a lot of plants, it tends to get overwhelming. But as far as a variegated peperomia, it is a durable plant. It is an easy to care for plant. It is a plant I would highly recommend adding to a beginner plant collection because it's not going to be that fussy. I would say definitely water the plant when the soil is completely dry or about 60% dry. It tends to like more so at least on the drier side, or at least it performed well for me on that, because when you touch the leaves, they are a little bit more waxy and thick and can hold that. Now this is really sad. This is a tragedy for me. Part of me wants to rescue the plant. Part of me wants to call 911 and, you know, actually get this rescued, but this is an Epipremnum aureum Mandula Pothos. It really just needs to get watered, and it's only for $5.48. So I might revisit that. I don't know, plant foldies. If I ended up getting a super sticker, super thanks, I might just go back to this Walmart and buy that plant. Again, I am trying to watch some of my finances because at the very end of 2024, I was really being, I guess, what, you know, for lack of a better word, a little bit reckless with my finances. And with the new year 2025, I'm trying to be a little bit more responsible financially when it comes to me buying plants. I'm trying to source out plants through either plant trades, plant cuttings, that sort of thing, to where I don't necessarily have to buy a full pot. But in hindsight though, or at least currently, you can see that these plants are just calling us. I mean, with the fact that Walmart, as far as like shopping in general, shopping at Walmart, you do get a lot of good value for the products you buy. So as far as plants, I mean, you can see right here, Philodendron Narrow Escape. So I did want to say thank you to the plant foldy that mentioned that the Philodendron Narrow Escape is different from the Philodendron Jungle Boogie in a sense that I think one is more clumping and another one is more vining. So I love that engagement. And again, get excited, plant foldies. If you know something about plants, definitely leave that in the comments section. I think that what separates this plant YouTube channel is it's not necessarily focused on my personal plants. It's really more interactive, and more so we want to get everybody involved in the plant community just to interact with each other. So anyways, going back to the plants, you can see right here, this is a Ficus lyrata, or a fiddlefig leaf tree. Beautiful plant. Look at that new pink planter. And I'm going to say that as far as the new year, Costa Farms already started the new year off right by getting us some more of these plants and the new planters. So I would say if you are a big box store plant shopping enthusiast, if you love shopping in general, go to Walmart, go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, and you already know I will be doing that even if I'm going to have to battle some pretty cold weather to get that plant content, just because number one, it's really fun. I think number two, I've gotten the groove back to where I'm going to be a little bit more consistent with my plant shopping. And number three, when I started feeling plant burnout or even YouTube burnout, I really had to think, what was my purpose about making plant content to begin with? And would I allow myself to take a break? And when I figured those answers out, it pretty much cured the plant burnout. The stresses went away, and I'm just a lot more happy, I guess, in the space I'm in, especially with the plant foldy community. But as you can see right over here, plant foldies, this one is a gorgeous Spathiphyllum or peace lily. And what I love about the Spathiphyllum or peace lily is look at how robust and large the leaves get. This is another easy to care for plant. This one is for $24.98, and you can see that it's got some gorgeous texture on the leaves. It is pretty low light tolerant as well. So honestly, you can get a smaller version of a peace lily, put it in a bathroom with no windows, and it will still work well for your space. It is a very thirsty plant, so it is a plant that is going to require you to water it a little bit more consistently. It does not really like to dry out completely, so I would say touch the soil, make sure that the soil remains moist for the peace lily, and you will be fine. Now, as far as a Monstera, I didn't say Thai Constellation, we'll get to that if we find it today, and I'm pretty sure with all of the Walmarts restocking, we will find a Monstera Thai Constellation. This one is a Monstera deliciosa. And here's the thing about Monstera deliciosa. It is a beautiful plant. It is a green plant. It is a plant that does need a stake or a pole for it to continue to grow. The leaves start to fenestrate, so you'll get some of those holes. It is iconic in a sense that if you have an indoor space and you want something that is classic because it's a green plant and then also easy to care for because it's a pretty vigorous, fast growing plant, I would recommend a Monstera deliciosa. It is a plant that I do feel like is becoming less relevant in people's plant collections. I mean, I know it's more readily available, but with its counterparts of more variegated Monsteras, like the Monstera albo, or even the variegated Monstera Thai Constellation that has made it into the big box store markets, the Monstera deliciosa is starting to get a little bit overlooked. And to me, that's a sad thing, because if you look at all of the plants right now, right here in front of your screen, they're all green plants. I hope that 2025, the new year, brings a new plant trend, and the plant trend needs to be green plants. Let's get back to the basics. Let's get back to the easy care. Let's not allow plants to stress us out. Let's get plants that are going to bring us joy. And not to say that variegated plants, rare plants are not the thing. And I already know maybe a lot of y'all clicked the thumbnail for this video because you saw Monstera Thai Constellation. It's not that I am not a fan, more so not one that would collect those plants. All I'm saying is pepper in some green plants, pepper in the basics, because whenever you think of solving a problem, sometimes solving a problem comes back to going to the basics, finding a solution. And I think as the new year continues to unfold, I mean, we're literally in the first part of the year. It's a great time to really recalibrate our plant collections, really purge, really think about what your intentions are for your plant collection this year. And as far as these plants right here, even a Majesty Palm, I'm not as big of a fan of a Majesty Palm because it's a little bit more mealybug, spider mite prone, and it needs a lot of light. I've always wondered if people actually grow Majesty Palms in their plant collection, or if this is more of like an interior design type of like corporate America business type plant. It's the same thing with the Sansevieria trifasciata. Now there's many different varieties of it, but you can see right over here, they are supposedly a really good air filter that cleans the air. So if you want really good quality, a lot of people will say put a Sansevieria or a snake plant right next to your bedside so you have some quality air that you're breathing as you sleep. I actually have one right next to my bedside as well, and feel free to hit the pause button if you want to see the plants right here. I mean, the plant care from Costa Farms as well. So awesome that we have that available for everybody to buy. And as far as Sansevieria, I'm super excited because Succulents Asia on Instagram actually reached out to me. They are sending me some rare and variegated plants, succulents, actually more so Sansevieria, for me to do an unboxing collab. So we'll see what that looks like. I did look at their website. You can get 20% off of your entire purchase if you are a Sansevieria fan. Definitely check that out. And I do appreciate all the businesses that have reached out to me in terms of doing a plant collaboration. You already know I like to give honest reviews and just really encourage a business to grow more so. And so if you are somebody that has a nursery or somebody that does want to do a plant collab, please feel free to reach out to me via Instagram and let's see what we can work with. I love, reviewing products and, products in general, whether it's a collab or not. I'll tell you the plant products that I use because I do feel like it's important for other plant folies or plant lovers to get some insight from somebody that's used some certain plant products frequently. Now, with the Christmas holiday season over, you can see that there are a bunch of Christmas cactus. A lot of the Christmas cactus is out of bloom because that's the reason why they call them Christmas cactus, is that they start to bloom. Their bloom cycle is within the range of the holidays and Christmas. Now, as far as exotic angel plants right here, you can see we've got a Dracaena Warneckii. This one is for $5.48. Another easy to care for plant. Highly would recommend it. It is another plant that I feel like is overlooked, and it's one of those plants that you can put in a darker space in your home and it will still maintain that beautiful striping color on its leaves. So we'll keep picking up these exotic angel plants by Costa Farms. Dieffenbachia croton, again for $5.48. Now with crotons, they are a love or hate plant for some of the people that are in the plant community. I love them. I adore them. They remind me of my home country, which is the Philippines. That's where my family is from originally. Super proud Filipino American here. Glad that I have some presence in terms of just the plant community as well. But as far as like these crotons, for instance, really love that. This one doesn't have a plant ID. I think this might be a croton mame, but in terms of crotons, they tend to come out during the months of October, November, because they have more of a fall vibe. Even though these are tropical plants, these plants do not like to be in the cold. They will drop their leaves. They like to be in higher, more humid temperatures, and they love sun. They love either full sun or lots of bright sun. So whenever you're trying to grow a croton indoors, it is a bit challenging because we may not necessarily have the original lighting that they necessarily need to really thrive. But as far as crotons, they can become full-blown trees. They are absolutely stunning, and there's just many varieties that we're not exposed to. Typically we will see like a croton petra. I would say crotons are not the easiest plant. They're not a beginner plant if you're going to try to grow them indoors. And then over here we've got a fat shadera. This is for $5.48. They call this the pia tree plant. So it's basically a cross between a Fatsa japonica, or a Japanese Aralia, mixed with a Hydra helix, or what you call, the correct way to say it is Hedera helix, which is the English ivy. So this is a cross hybrid of it. So it has more of a vining upright form for it, and it is another beautiful plant as well. It is a plant that I have the variegated form. Unfortunately, I kind of left it outside, and I don't think it's going to make it through this cold weather. And again, that's the reason why whenever you have too many plants in your plant collection and you're growing them outside, there's only so much space you can do when you're trying to overwinterize your plants. So, plant foldies, I'm actually curious if you have a lot of plants that you grow outdoors during the warmer months, and do you overwinter them or bring them inside? Leave that in the comment section below. And again, if you haven't already, please make sure you are pressing the like button for this video. It definitely helps push this video out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as definitely just commenting and leaving some insights about some of the plants you're seeing today. Would really appreciate that. And if you feel like you want to support me on a monetary tip, the super sticker, super thanks button, it's like the little $sign, or even during the live premiere chats, you can check to see what the goal is. I would really appreciate that as well. But going back to the plants, we've got some more Costa Farms exotic angel plants right here. This one is a Peperomia obtusifolia, just a green form, $5 and, or actually it's $5.77. So this is a little bit more pricey. I didn't even notice that they went up a little bit, but you can see that there is a new plant restock. It looks like Walmarts are getting restocked again with plants. So if you want to go shopping, if you want to go plant shopping, Walmarts, at least in the DFW area, have a lot of these Costa Farms plants hitting the market. You can see right over here, we've got an Epipremnum aureum, pearls and jade pothos, or pearls and jade pothos right over here. And this was another plant that surprisingly I don't have in my plant collection. So this is another plant that I would definitely love to add to my plant collection eventually. Pothos plants are very durable. They're easy to care for, many varieties. And this one right here is got some beautiful variegation. It's got more of that speckling as compared to the Enjoy pothos, which has a little bit more sectoral variegation. Either way, needless to say, these plants are easy to care for. And both plants that I'm featuring right now in front of the screen are plants I would recommend for a beginner, or for somebody that just wants an easy to care for plant, a basic plant, if you want to call them a basic plant. But it is a plant that will bring you joy because they're not going to be really fussy. They're going to be easy to care for. Both plants, the Peperomia obtusifolia as well as the Epipremnum aureum, pearls and jade pothos, require bright indirect light if you're able to, but can tolerate lower light conditions like medium light if you don't have the lighting conditions in your inner space. I would also say this year I would look at like your lighting conditions, plant foldies, and look at adding grow lights to your plant collection if you don't have it already. Sansi grow light has really worked well for me. Barina grow lights have worked for me. I have yet to try Soltech grow lights. I'm going to reach out to Soltech. I'm hoping that maybe I can do a collab with Soltech grow lights, because I've seen other plant YouTubers really give some great reviews, and there are some dark corners in my home that I would like to light up with the Soltech pendant. So we're gonna see what that looks like long term, or I might just end up buying some Soltech grow lights and I'm doing a personal review myself. And over here, bush on fire croton. So this is actually a croton that really intrigues me, because as the croton grows, the bottom part of the plant is more red, and then there's a gradation of orange, and at the very top is like yellow and green. So it does look like a bush on fire. I might try growing crotons again. There was one croton that I was growing outdoors, but unfortunately with the cold snap that hit Dallas, with the snow that is about to happen on Thursday, I just don't know if I have the space, more so the lighting, for a croton plant to grow indoors, but it is a beautiful plant. In the Philippines, they call this the San Francisco plant. I'm not sure why, but there are so many varieties. So this particular plant, the croton, is actually a plant that is native to the Southeast Asian countries. So you'll see a lot in the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia. All of those countries have so many of these croton plants. It's a very common landscape plant. And mind you, I mentioned landscape plant. These plants are really meant to be grown outdoors. And so whenever we think about some of the philodendrons, the aroids, the variegated monsteras, all of that stuff, a lot of those plants in those parts of the world, like Southeast Asia, or even the Latin countries like South America, these plants can grow outdoors as just a regular outdoor plant. So mind you, it's interesting that every plant that we find, these exotic angels that we find, for instance, by Costa Farms, are sourced out from all parts of the world. Now over here, we do have another fern. So the thing about ferns is I can't really grow them in my plant collection, because I know for a fact that I am an underwaterer. So that's the reason why I am converting a lot of my plants to semi-hydro, because when you do that, you don't have to worry so much about the plant care in terms of watering the plants, because it's got a water reservoir. But if you're going to grow fern, you want to make sure that you keep their soil moist. You don't really want them to dry out for too long. It's kind of like the Syngonium, actually, and I talk about Syngoniums a lot, about being easy care. It is another plant that is a little bit more finicky. So ferns are not going to make it into my plant collection. My grandmother says they're super easy. The way you propagate them is through plant separation, just separating the babies from the actual mother plant and putting them up in a soil substrate. But it is another beautiful plant. It's just one that I wouldn't add to my collection. And speaking of Syngoniums, I love the Syngonium as well right here. This is the Maria arrowhead plant. So this is the Maria Syngonium. Here's the thing about this plant, and this one is for $5.77 by Costa Farms. If you give it more bright light, bright indirect light, it'll have darker foliage leaves, like a chocolate look. And if you actually spray it with neem oil or like a leaf shine, it is going to be stunning. I think all plants, like that's another thing I've been focused on, is really manicuring, really putting that makeup on my plants by spraying them, cleaning the leaves with my Protect neem oil spray by We the Wild. I also have my DIY neem oil spray that I use called the Foldy Mist. But when you do that and you take microfiber gloves and like rub the leaves and really just massage that oil into the plant, it just makes them even more so elevated, and it makes you want to enjoy your plants more because they look so beautiful. Leave it in the comments if you actually use leaf shine, or what plant products that you use for your plants to really get them to look their best. I'm curious to see what other products people use, because I am consistently trying to source out different plant products to use on my personal plant collection. But as far as a Syngonium Maria, yes, it's a darker foliage plant, and yes, it is a common plant, but it's another plant I would recommend. I mean, Syngoniums in general prefer bright indirect light. They don't really like to stay not water for too long. So please make sure that you water your Syngoniums. And then over here is another prayer plant. This one is a beautiful Marantha. And like I said, again, Marantha, this one is for $15.48. That's not a bad price. And you can see that it's still got plenty of different types of Marantha plants in this 6-inch planter. I prefer the 6-inch planter hanging baskets. I feel like there's less space for it. And it is another gorgeous plant as well. Love it. And it's another another plant that, unfortunately for me though, it's similar to a Calathea. They're kind of fussy in a sense that you have to stay on top of the watering. You need to give them humidity. And the only good thing about that Marantha plant is it's not toxic. So if you have a dog or a furry friend, they are pet friendly. Same thing with Hoya. So I've been getting a lot of questions about pet friendly plants. Maranthas, Calatheas, Hoyas are pet friendly for a person that wants to get plants, plants and keep a furry friend. And speaking of a furry friend, so I've decided that I may not necessarily get a Shiba Inu puppy because it does need a little bit more requirements. And on top of getting a dog like a Shiba Inu, it is more of a shedder, and I have hardwood floors. I already don't have enough time to water my plants, more so like clean up after the dog. If I am gonna get a puppy, and plant foldies, leave it in the comment section. I am thinking about getting an Aussie Doodle. I think an Aussie Doodle would be super cute, and from what I've done research on, they're extremely intelligent puppies, and they don't shed because of the doodle, the poodle lineage. Leave it in the comments if you have dogs, and any tips you would have. But that's something that I do want to add to my family this year, is having a new addition to my family, aside from the 100+ plants I already have in my plant collection. And don't worry, plant foldies, all of my plants that are going to be exposed for the future puppy, I think I want to call him Ryan, is actually in my plant room. So when you see my house plant tour, you'll see that my hoarding of plants is going to be compartmentalized in my plant room that is south facing of my house, and then just a lot of my other plants in little clumps. But going back to all the plant shopping we're doing, I mean, as you can tell, plant foldies, I'm just really excited that I was able to film a lot of this content, and hopefully you're not tired of me talking. I know that I probably talk a lot, but this is my one venue, my one platform to really talk to y'all directly about plants and just me in general. So really appreciate the support. But as far as the plants we're seeing, Dieffenbachia, this is for $9.97 by Garden Expert, which is basically the brand name for Walmart. But these plants are actually grown and sourced out from Costa Farms. So again, shout out to Costa Farms for really just getting a lot of these plants. I know some people will have their opinions about whether, a big grow like Costa Farms would actually impact small businesses. I would say big box stores provide plants for the general public, but if you really want to support small businesses, and I am a huge fan of small businesses, please shop small as well. Shop small businesses, but I think there is a space for every type of business to really thrive, whether it's a small business or a big box store like Walmart that provides plants. I mean, the thing about it is, whenever you're buying plants, say from a small business or a plant shop like Peta's Planters, for instance, one of my favorite plant shops in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're getting more curated plants, you're getting more niche plants, and you're getting a little bit more intimacy and care for the plants through the owners and the staff versus a big box store. Like, I'm picking up this Monstera Thai, for instance, $19.84 in a self-watering planter. I actually need to get another one of those because I sent in one to Plant Heaven, but a lot of the workers at a big box store may not be as versed about taking care of the plants, and that's okay. That's not necessarily the top priority. But whenever you go to a big box store, though, you typically will save a little bit more money because they offer more cost-effective plant pricing. That's not to say that small businesses or small shops will not offer cost-effective pricing, because I've seen it happen where a local nursery, a small business will also offer really cost-effective plant pricing. In hindsight, or just in general, honestly, comparing your plant pricing whenever you're going big box store shopping, or if you're just shopping in general, that is just the general rule of thumb, right? You want to compare and contrast plant pricing. For instance, this Monstera Thai, love this plant. This is for $19.84 in a self-watering planter. This is not a bad price because I've seen this offered within that range. And I say this, and it's the crazy part, is because I have done so much big box store plant shopping, so much local nursery plant shopping, that I have pretty much known what the actual wholesale prices for the plant, what the markup is for the plant pricing, and what is within the general range of the plant. So it is what it is in terms of the plant. Sometimes I know I might be spending a little bit too much money for the plant. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting a really good bargain for the plant. You know, if you find a plant on clearance, for instance, 50% off, you're still getting a good price. But I would even say that the seller would still get some type of profit when they mark it even down to 50%. That's not always the case. So I'm not speaking for all like sellers or local nurseries. I've just been able to inquire some from certain sellers, and you know, it's interesting because to make a profit for plants, especially for a small business, it is a little bit challenging. So I do say, you know, definitely check small businesses, but also get excited to go shopping at Walmart. I mean, look at this Epipremnum aureum global green pothos, $19.84. Like, I'm really tempted to make this plant more of a need. Like, I need to probably buy this pothos today because pothos are gorgeous. I love that green on green variegation. And this is another pothos that like 4 years ago, I spent $50 to just buy a one leaf, one node cutting to propagate. And now, you know, 4 years down, or actually 5 years down the line, it is now available at a big box store. And this is just another plant that is an easy to grow plant. It is a plant, as far as pothos, is not as tolerant to staying dry for long periods of time. If you want to get that really nice variegation, you've got to provide it with lots of bright indirect light. Otherwise, it becomes more of a green tone versus a stark green on green variegation. But I mean, it is a beautiful plant. Leave in the comment section plant folies if you'd actually buy this plant. I definitely would. Again, I have one, and it's an easy to care for plant, and it's one that you can propagate very easily once it starts to vine. I will say I've seen this plant grow on a totem pole or a moss pole, and when the leaves start to get large and mature, it actually loses that more direct green on green variegation, which is really interesting because I would love to see like really large green on green variegation on a global green, but I've seen it to where it's more of this green tone right here. Again, Costa Farms trending tropical plant for $19.84. I would recommend it for anybody that wants an easy to care for plant, a beginner plant, and one that's not as expensive as compared to some of the other more niche plants. Over here, we've got a beautiful plant right here. This is a Raven ZZ plant. Absolutely stunning to see this. Again, this is for $19.84, and I actually have a Raven ZZ growing in my bathroom. I've had it for about a year. It's gotten really tall, and right next to my white, I think granite, or just, you know, my interior, just the color, the dark foliage really matches my bathroom space. It is a very stylish plant, but more so, it is a plant that is super easy to take care of. It is a low light tolerant, and it is drought tolerant. It's really not fussy. I mean, overwatering will send it to plant heaven very quickly, but as far as a plant that is easy, stylish, and one that I would recommend for anybody that wants a unique dark foliage plant, get yourself a Raven ZZ plant. You can see right here, plant foldies, another beautiful Sansevieria trifasciata superba, $15.98 in a self-watering planter. I love the pink planters right here. Thank you, Casa Farms, again for getting all of these plants available for us. I would recommend these Sansevieria, and I am collecting more snake plants, especially the starfish versions of Sansevierias, because they're very easy. And to me, getting that height for some of this and even that beautiful streaking, that variegation is stunning. Again, these plants are marketed as an easy to care for plant. I would say the fastest way to send this to plant heaven is by overwatering it. I would also say super underwatering it also causes it to get root dry rot. And for me, I would just say water your snake plant whenever the soil is completely dry. Stay consistent for that, and that way it's not too underwatered and then too or overwatered, if that makes any sense. I'm going to finish up right here and just show you some more of these easy to care for plants. 6-inch planter for $9.97. This is another Dracaena right here. Look at how beautiful that is. And you know, with Dracaenas, another underrated plant, but look at how stunning the leaves are. It is low light tolerant, drought tolerant. It is a performer, and it's one that I would say for the new year 2025 houseplants, this is another plant that I would say let's get to trend. Let's talk about Dracaenas. Let's get people excited about these easy to care for plants, because basic plants keep things simple, and when things are simple, life is just not complicated, and we don't want to complicate our already complicated lives. I don't know about you, but I've tried to downsize my plants. I've tried to just really be more intentional about my plant collection. Now, as far as like pothos plants, that's definitely always going to be a want for me or a need. I mean, it's just a plant that I can either buy today or wait on, but it is a plant that is always going to be in my plant collection. The golden pothos. Bright, indirect light, water when the soil is completely dry, and you can propagate it, you can style it. It is a basic but easy to care for plant, and if you are a plant foldie, definitely get yourself a pothos plant. And you can see right over here, we've got a gorgeous looking Sago palm, self-watering planter. I mean, this is an interesting plant. It's not one that I would actually add to my collection just because palms just really don't interest me. Now, if it's something that fits your cup of tea, totally get it. I think it's a beautiful plant, but it's another plant that I feel like if I'm going to add another plant like a Sago palm, I'd rather add, say, a golden pothos or an Aglaonema, plants that I'm a little bit more inclined to grow in my space. And that's okay if you're not into a certain plant. We all have our own preferences. It's just a matter of being respectful about what certain people want in terms of their plant collections. For me, Sago palm's just not one of them. $19.84. So this is the plant that has been teasing me and making me want to buy it because of the light foliage of the leaves. But again, it is another plant that is a Dieffenbachia, and I've learned my lesson as far as Dieffenbachias. They are just very finicky plants if you don't have the right lighting conditions, the humidity levels, and the consistent watering. Now, this Dracaena Massangiana right here, or I think it's a Dracaena Dorado, easy to care for plant, $19.84. That is a really good price. So if you're going shopping for plants, that would be a plant that I would recommend. But I'm going to spin around here and just show you some of these large foliage plants. Like, look at that light foliage. Absolutely stunning. Tradescantia right over here. This is another one that's the burgundy, I think. This one's a little bit more compact for $19.84 by Costa Farms. Really nice plant. The thing about Tradescantia is they can get leggy very quickly. So if you start to see them losing their foliage, you might want to just cut them back. They will bounce back and they're easy to propagate. And we're just going to keep looking at more of these large foliage plants for $19.84. See right over here, we've got another Tradescantia that is purple, a little bit more purple. I'm not sure what the plant ID is for this, but this is really interesting. And I'm going to put it right next to the Tradescantia that I found, the burgundy. Let me know in the comment section which one you would choose. Would you choose the one that has a little bit more green, or would you choose the one that's a little bit more purple? Truthfully, seeing both of these side by side makes me want to buy both of them because I could see like the plant styling potential. But again, that's just me exercising, not doing impulse buys because I have so many plants already. I've been able to get like downsize some of my plants and get them organized. So for now, these are going to stay here, but you know, hopefully somebody will be inspired to buy both. And then we also have another hanging basket here of a philodendron, heartleaf philodendron, or a philodendron heteroecium. Beautiful plant. This one is in an 8-inch planter for $19.84. This is another plant I would recommend. It is a green plant. Let's make this the house plant trend for 2025. Let me know in the comment section if you are trying to jump on my bandwagon of making green plants trending. Post on your social medias. Get excited about green plants. I think that we can start a movement for that. And then here is another Tradescantia for $19.84. So we're just going to spin around here and see what plants we can find. Got the cuddly cactus and these blooming anthuriums for $21.98. Love these. You know, a lot of people are more so into the other anthuriums, but honestly, these blooming anthuriums are just as gorgeous for me. Now, as far as these anthuriums, they do need bright indirect light, water when the soil is completely dry, or at least water a little bit more consistently, and you will get some beautiful leaves. I prefer the blooms more so than the leaves. If I'm gonna get the anthuriums, the other more like rare anthuriums, I would definitely not choose this. But as far as an easy to care for blooming indoor plant, this is a beautiful choice, and it's an easy to care for plant as well. It's one I would recommend for your plant collection.
You don't want my heart. You don't.
Another stunning plant. This is a Dracaena marginata, tricolor, beautiful plant. And when the light hits it, you'll see that reddish tone about it. It actually glows. Love that as well. And as I pan away here, I'm going to keep showing you some of these blooming anthuriums. I really love the blooms. And the thing about anthuriums is they are a little bit more forgiving. So if you don't water them consistently, they'll bounce back once you water them. And take a look at this. So I was about to leave this Walmart and all of a sudden there was an instant restock. So I saw an employee wheeling out trays of plants, and take a look at this. So in the last video where I showed you all of the rare and uncommon philodendron, Grower's Bench has made it to this Walmart. And so if you're looking for a philodendron Paraíso Verde, this one is for $19.97. They are at this Walmart. This Walmart again is in West Plano, Texas, right off of Park, right next to the Dallas North Tollway. Definitely check this out if you're looking for some Paraíso Verde. Now here's the thing about Paraíso Verde. It is a plant that needs a stake or a pole or some type of support in order for it to really grow. It also needs more warmer climate, so warmer environment for it to push out the variegation. The light doesn't necessarily impact the variegation, it is the heat. And you know, it's an interesting thing that I learned from somebody, I think it was from Mari from the Cultivar Plant Shop in Houston. She was mentioning that, but it is a beautiful plant. I ended up getting one for myself because I just wanted to grow another philodendron Paraíso Verde. And then this is a philodendron campi, and I really love the texture of this leaf. So notice this philodendron for $19.97 is just green, but look at how narrow the leaves are. I may end up getting one of these as well, but again, my funds this early this year, I've spent quite a bit of money. When you think about all of the plants I bought last year, I also bought some IKEA cabinets. I may need to hold off on this, but I also mentioned that sometimes buying the plants as soon as they get stocked on a big box store, that's probably the best time because they're the most healthy. But that philodendron campi is beautiful. I need it in my life. And then you can see right here, Monstera Thai Constellations. These are for $29.97. So give or take $30 US for these gorgeous Monstera Thai Constellations. And here's the thing, plant foldies, I will be giving a free Monstera Thai Constellation away to a lucky plant foldie. I mentioned in my previous video that I'm gonna do another Instagram giveaway. Here are the rules for it. You need to make sure that you are following my Instagram account, which is at Growfold. I will post a reel with the same rules that are available for the plant ID, or at least the plant giveaway. So you need to make sure that not only are you following my Instagram account at Growfold, when I post the Instagram reel with the Monstera Thai Constellation that I will be giving as a free giveaway, you need to make sure that you are hitting the heart or like button for the reel. And then you need to make sure that you tag a minimum of 6 friends to the Instagram reel. Any additional tags past the 6 will become an additional entry. So after you tag 6 people, you are put in a drawing for 1 entry, but any other tags after the 6th tag on that reel will result in a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, or even multiple entries for the plant giveaway. The giveaway will last until January 24th, which would be a Friday, and the winner will be announced on my Instagram stories at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you share the reel, that is an additional 5 entries to the giveaway. And I've already done 2 plant giveaways in the past on my Instagram account. So hopefully, plant foldies, you will actually consider doing the plant giveaway. If you don't have an Instagram account, it's super easy to create one. And honestly, that is one social media platform where I post a little bit more frequently about my personal plans and even just the things that I'm doing throughout the day. So hopefully you guys will participate in the free Monstera Thai Constellation. That is one way to get a free Monstera Thai Constellation from a big box store like Walmart. But as you can see right here, I am just showing you these Monstera Thai Constellations. These are gorgeous, and I am so happy that the new year 2025 houseplants, we can see Monstera Thai Constellations in the Dallas-Fort Worth area Walmart. Now I'm hoping to see larger forms of these, but at least seeing Grower's Bench or actually Wild Interiors curated collection, whichever one you want to get, has some quality Monstera Thai Constellations. Here's the thing about Monstera Thai Constellations. When you see or choose one at a big box store, look for one that has a new sign of new growth. Look for one that has higher variegation if you're looking for that, because Monstera Thai Constellations are tissue cultured plants, so each one is a little bit genetically completely different? I would say some people say no, if they're tissue culture, they have the same genetics. I would say yes, but at the same time, if you find one that's a little bit more highly variegated, I would say that it's probably going to push out more variegation than one that's a little bit greener. So that's just my opinion. But as far as a Monstera Thai Constellation, you want to give it bright indirect light. This is a plant, especially at that stage, is you do not want to overwater it. It is very susceptible to root rot. So as far as a Monstera Thai Constellation, you want to make sure that you are not overwatering the plant. Wait till the soil is completely dry and then water it again. As it becomes a little bit more mature and older, it's going to be less susceptible to root rot, but in its initial stages, do not overwater it because it will quickly die. Now, as far as these Monstera Thai Constellations, I did want to get everybody excited. That is Monstera Thai Constellations at Walmart. You definitely want to go shopping at Walmart. If you just like shopping in general, go to Walmart, but if you're going to go shop for rare and uncommon plants at a big box store like Walmart, you will find Monstera Thai Constellations. I do ask in the timestamp, which Monstera Thai Constellation would you buy if you had to choose from the top 5? You know, I love beauty pageants. You know, Filipinos, we love Miss Universe, and I had to just narrow it down to the top 5 right here. I would say Miss Philippines would probably win, or the winner that is going to be chosen from these top 5. I may end up getting the Monstera as a giveaway here, but as you can see, if you enjoyed this video today, please make sure you hit the like button for this video, leave some comments. If you want to drop a monetary super sticker or super thanks, I'd appreciate it. And then also subscribe to my YouTube channel at Grow Folds. I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Bye.
Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Walmart off of Marketplace in Garland, Texas. As always, please make sure you're hitting the like button for this video, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That's the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me directly. As you can see right here, it is a cloudy day. This is one of the first times I've ever been to this Walmart, but a plant foldy. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie. Marlon suggested that I go to this Walmart because this Walmart actually had a pretty nice restock of plants. You know, with the new year, we have some new plants. But before we get into that, I did want to let you guys know that I am part of a plant podcast called Cultivation Corner. Please make sure you are subscribed to our official YouTube channel. We have videos at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time where we talk about different types of plant topics. I am part of that Plant Cultivation Corner plant podcast with Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants. But as you can see right here, right off the bat, I haven't seen a setup like this by Walmart at any Target actually in the North Dallas area, which is where I'm based at. So this is further down south in South Dallas area. And you can see right here that they have a lot of these different types of Costa Farms plants. So it looks like they've got a definite restock here. And I definitely love seeing different plant restocks, especially with the new year. I can't believe that it is the first week of 2025 and we're already seeing some really nice plants. I always mention that it is the holiday winter season out in North Dallas, and you would think that a lot of these big box stores wouldn't get all of these plant restocks, but it looks like Walmart is starting to get a lot of the plants that we would potentially see out in the springtime. So that's super exciting. I just remember making plant shopping videos about a year ago, and I remember seeing a lot of nice new plants right after the holidays, right at the beginning of the new year. So we're going to be seeing a lot of these definite new plants. That is super exciting. And you can see right here, we do have some bromeliads for $15.97. We also have right here a Sago palm in a self-watering planter, $15.97. And you can see that there's a new type of self-watering planter. I've noticed that Costa Farms has the pink planter, which I love. I love pink planters. I love pink plants. And you can see right here, we do have the Sago palm. It is a common plant that you would see. Now, as far as the Sago palm, it is going to need quite a bit of bright indirect light just because it is a palm. And that's one of the requirements when it comes to palms. And then right here for $10.97 is a 6-inch hanging basket of Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos. And, as far as an easy to care for plant as well as just a plant that is going to be reliable, I would highly suggest getting a golden pothos. Any type of pothos plant, but especially a golden pothos. It is one of the most common plants that you would find at a big box store, but just because it's common, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have the same type of value as maybe a rare or variegated plant. I always tell people, especially with the New Year's, especially since we are all coming up with New Year's resolution, that you need to start with plants that are going to bring you joy. And a plant that is able to bring you joy would be one that is easy to care for, inexpensive, and a golden pothos kind of fits the bill for that one. Now, as far as the new plants that we're seeing from Costa Farms, again, this is for $15.97. This, I believe, is another type of Calathea. Love the purple undersides of the leaves, and then just the foliage itself, there is a lot of leaf interest. The only problem I have about Calatheas is that they are just very challenging plants to take care of. Unfortunately, with my new found, I guess, interest in certain plants, Calatheas are just not going to fit the bill because they just require so much care. I have sent plenty to Plant Heaven. I have yet to really meet anybody that's been able to grow Calatheas long term. They tend to just get a little bit crispy. They tend to be a little bit more finicky than most plants. As far as care tips, though, for Calatheas, if you want to try them, they do require higher levels of humidity level, within 65 to 70% humidity level. If you're able to give them that, you need to keep their soil moist. So as soon as the soil, the top of the soil is about an inch or two dry, go ahead and water that thoroughly. And as far as like the water quality, if you're able to give them distilled water, try not to use tap water. You will have a higher chance of keeping that Calathea alive. But again, that's not always guaranteed. Now, as far as the trending tropicals, what I've noticed here is for $19.84, Costa Farms has switched off into these self-watering planters. It's just a different shape. It's not typically the one that you would typically see from trending tropicals by Costa Farms. This one is a variegated ZZ plant. This one is a chameleon ZZ, so it has a different type of variegation. So if you notice that the new leaves come out a lot brighter. Now with variegated ZZ plant, or at least the chameleon ZZ plant, you have to give it quite a bit of bright indirect light for it to really hold on to its coloration. There are certain plants that have better coloration, and it's based on lighting conditions, or sometimes it's based on the initial genetics of the plant. With the ZZ chameleon plant, this one is going to be more light influence, so the more bright indirect light you give it, the better it's going to have as far as the coloration. Now, as far as the trending tropicals, you'll notice that while Costa Farms is releasing new trending tropical plants, you'll notice that the new releases are going to be at least in this self-watering planter. What's interesting about Costa Farms is that they have different types of crops of plants, so you'll see if one release comes around, you'll see that there are going to be several of that particular plant. It looks like chameleon ZZ is one of them, and you'll see in this beautiful pink self-watering planter, these are plants with benefits by Costa Farms. So basically that is the tagline for Walmart plants. This one is for $15.97, and this is just the common green ZZ form. So this is another ZZ plant right here, but what I will tell you about ZZ plants is super easy to take care of these plants. As far as like basic care needs, they can tolerate lower light conditions. So if you don't have the best lighting conditions in your indoor space, you can put that in a darker space in your home and it will still live. I would water the ZZ plant when it is completely dry. So just let the soil dry out completely. It's got very minimal care conditions. It is one of those plants that basically thrives with neglect. I think if you overwater it, that's the fastest way to get it to Plant Heaven. But as you can see right here, you've got two different versions of ZZ plant. You've got the chameleon ZZ for $19.84, or you can buy just the common green for $15.97. And what I like about the common green forms, and I do think that we should make that the I guess the plant trend of 2025 is green forms. It's just a more durable plant. Now you can see right here another self-watering planter, $15.97. This is the Philodendron Birkin. Now I think the Philodendron Birkin is really more influenced by the amount of light you give it. The more light, bright light you give it, the better coloration it's going to get, maybe even wider streaks. It is a durable plant. It's an easy to care for philodendron. It's one that would eventually need to climb, but it actually doesn't need to climb as quickly as some of the other philodendron varieties that we can find at a big box store like Walmart. And you can see right here, Monstera Thai, $19.84. It is another trending tropicals by Costa Farm. So a new plant, but this is really cool right here. Philodendron Pink Princess Galaxy Marble, or at least that's what I'm going to call it, because you can see that the variegation is a little bit higher. And look at this new self-watering planter. Super exciting. I love the look of that new planter as well. And look at how gorgeous this trending tropical by Costa Farm is. And what's exciting is that the price, I believe, is only $15.97. We're going to take a look. Yep, that is not a bad price at all, considering it is a trending tropicals plant. So as far as Walmart, you know, I used to say that Kroger grocery store had the most inexpensive trending tropical plants by Costa Farms, but it looks like Walmart has taken the crown with this new self-watering planter. I love the look of this particular Philodendron Pink Princess. And again, as far as Philodendron Pink Princess, if you're going to go plant shopping for Philodendron Pink Princess, you need to find one that has high variegation. Like this one's pretty good as well. $15 again and 97 cents in a self-watering planter. I love how the pink planter matches the Philodendron Pink Princess variegation. Philodendron Pink Princess is really influenced by the initial genetics of the plant. Therefore, if the Pink Princess already has good variegation like this one right here, it will continue to push out pretty good variegation. You can try to give it a little bit more light, but that's not necessarily guaranteed. With the Philodendron Pink Princess, the variegation is really influenced by the initial genetics of the plant. And then right here is another trending tropical plant, $19.84. This is another type of Aglaonema. I'm not 100% sure what this particular Aglaonema is, but you can see that it is mostly reddish pink. Beautiful plant. And you know, as far as Aglaonemas, I always say that they are a need. So on the Cultivation Corner YouTube Plant Podcast show, we have two terms when it comes to determining plants. There is a want and there is a need. A want is a plant that you can purchase later on, something that you can hold off from buying that plant whenever you're plant shopping. A need is a plant that you have to buy today. And you know, this one right here is $19.84. This one would be a need for me since it's in Aglaonema, but with my New Year's resolution and things that are just different for me this New Year's, I am actually holding off from just doing impulse buy plants when it comes to even Aglaonema. As much as I love Aglaonema, I really need to be a little bit more financially responsible for some of my plants. And like I shared during the live premiere chat, especially when I was doing my Green Spaces ID unboxing video last night, when I premiered, I did mention that I did have a little bit of plant burnout, and I really didn't talk about it with our plant foldies, but there was a moment where I really tried to think whether I wanted to do YouTube videos, really frequent YouTube videos, just because I was just really overwhelmed with just work. But after like organizing my plants, getting my house cleaned up, I was able to find a little bit more peace. I was able to de-stress, and I'm a lot more inspired. So just, you know, some full transparency. And I know some of you plant foldies that watch my videos know the type of format I have when it comes to my plant shopping videos. I will pretty much talk through the entire video. I kind of utilize these plant shopping videos as more of like a personal blog, in addition to talking about the plants. So you'll have to bear with me. So I am just happy that I was able to get out of plant burnout, and a lot of it has to do with just being able to organize your plants. And, you know, for those that have made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. If you haven't already, please press the thumbs up button or the like button to help push this video out to more plant lovers like yourself. But as far as just plant burnout, it is real. And I do think that a lot of the cure for plant burnout is really just organizing your plant collection. But going back to the plants, this is another exciting plant right here. Look at this philodendron. This is another trending tropicals plant for $15.97. Yes, that is basically a sale price, $15.97 for a Costa Farms trending tropical plant. That is super exciting. And this is a new philodendron trending tropical plant. This is a philodendron subestatum. So it is kind of similar to a philodendron silver sword, I think, but you can see right here, it's the green form, and this is a beautiful philodendron. So $15.97. I am definitely going to purchase one of these, and look at this right here. So I have to ask, is this a sport variegated philodendron subestatum for $15.97? Look at that right there. I don't know if this leaf is just getting ready to go to plant heaven, or if it is sport variegation. Let me know in the comment section, but you can see that this one also has some variegation as well, and obviously that one leaf looks like it is variegated. So as far as the two plants I'm going to be purchasing today, I will be purchasing this philodendron because I was already looking for a philodendron, and then also the philodendron pink princess. I have multiples of the philodendron pink princess, but I love pink plants. But this one right here is definitely a need today. So I'm going to end up buying that since it's only $15.97. I've been really good about not purchasing plants the first couple of days of the new year. So this is going to be my first plant purchase, and I am not upset about it at all, that considering the fact that this particular Walmart is nicely organized. I love their setup right here. It is gorgeous, and this is just going to be a preview of what we will potentially see this 2025 year in terms of just indoor tropical plants, indoor house plants, big box store plant shopping. I mean, look right here, $19.84. We've got trending tropicals, the Begonia Cane series by Costa Farms. This one is the Begonia Maculata. So I'm just going to keep picking up plants and showing you what is available at this Walmart. Let me know if this has inspired you to go shopping, if you want to go plant shopping. And if you haven't already done some plant shopping this season, what plants are you looking forward to purchasing? Leave that in the comment section below. You already know I love that engagement on the YouTube channel. That's what makes this channel a lot of fun for me, especially since I have so many loyal plant foldies. You guys are amazing, and you've already started my new year off right. You know, it's in terms of just the engagement you guys have given me, especially during the live premiere chats. I mean, you can see right here, this one is another self-watering trending tropicals plant. This one is a Ficus elastica ruby. And this one right here is a ficus plant. So that means that it's going to need quite a bit of light for it to really do well. But as far as the coloration, the more light you give it, the better coloration it's going to give you. So we're just going to keep looking at some of these plants that are available at this Walmart right here for $15.97. And plant foldies, you'll see that we've got Epipremnum aureum or golden pothos, and I'm going to pull this one here because this is a hanging basket of, let's see, $19.84. It looks like this is the green Jula pothos plant. So basically, if you've ever heard of a Manjula pothos, it's a gorgeous variegated pothos plant, but this one is the green variety. You'll see that this is basically a reverted Manjula Pothos, so it's just an all green form. You'll see that this one has larger leaves, and really Grandula should have more rounder leaves. That one I've already purchased, and I don't mind it at all because I do like green plants. I do think that when it comes to a green plant, it's going to be more durable, it's going to be easier to care for, and it would be a plant that, while it is considered basic, you know, a lot of people are very much drawn to variegated plants, myself included. I do think that the houseplant trend for 2025 should be going back to the basics. We should all just celebrate green plants. Let me know in the comments if you agree or if you disagree. Again, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. I love the fact that you continue to watch my videos all the way through, or hopefully you will. And if you haven't already, press the thumbs up button, the like button, to push this video out to more plant lovers like yourself. I'm really hoping by the end of February that we will be over 12,000 Plantfoldy subscribers, and that would just be super exciting. And if you have been watching the live premiere chats, one thing that you could do to support this channel, aside from definitely just watching the videos, is if you want to participate in the live premiere chat goals, it's basically a monetary tip that you can give as a super sticker or a super thanks. Any amount is welcomed, and even if you are not watching it during a live premiere chat, if you feel like you want to support me on a monetary tip, you can press the $ to just make a donation for any amount. That definitely helps with my gas money that I spend for just traveling all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and it could help fund some of my plant wish list plans. So feel free to do that. Don't feel obligated at all, but I did want to put out that option for our Plantfoldies. And for those that have left a monetary tip, a super sticker or super thanks, I really appreciate it. I cannot tell you how much it has helped me on a monetary basis just to be able to provide this plant content. But going back to the plants again, I am really debating on whether this is a sport variegated plant. So I'm going to go purchase this. I'm going to give it quite a bit of light. I'm going to leave it in its soil substrate to see that if I can stabilize it. And I did want to spin around here, Plantfoldies, and show you some of the planters that we are going to see at Walmart. And this is by Better Homes and Garden series. So you'll see that Walmart has really upped its game when it comes to more modern planters, more selection of planters. You know, if you had to like compare Walmart versus Target, Target will always have more of the stylistic designer planters, but Walmart has really upped its game over the years when it comes to some of these planters. You can see there are many varieties. Now, I do want to buy this one at some point, $15.98 to add to my collection. I love that what is it, shallow planter, and you can see this is a brand new one. I love the gray, and even though it is a shiny glaze, I don't mind it because of just the gray color. This one actually has a drainage hole, and it's only for $3.24. So if you're looking for you know, elevating plants, you can definitely look at planters at Walmart. Now, I have bought these in the past. These are 3.5-inch catch pot planters. These ones are in the gray form. I have a bunch of white ones, and basically if you buy, say, a Costa Farms Exotic Angel starter planter for $5.97, you can put them in those gray planters. They also have that type of planter right here. And you know, as far as planters, Plantfoldies, let me know in the comment section what kind of colors you like, whether you like textured, whether you like matte finishes. I would like to know your insights in terms of planters. I do believe that the planter you put a plant in does either enhance the plant, really enhances the space, and even this one right here, that's such a elegant looking spiral planter. And you can see that this year they have some new resin black planters right here. So if you like black planters, I prefer white, gray, or pink planters that are matte finish, but the black ones look nice as well. So we're just going to keep picking up planters, and I'll show you the plant pricing, because I know that I was given a little bit of feedback about how you wanted to see more plant prices and just plants or prices in general whenever I go plant shopping. So let me know in the comments what you think about the new planters that Walmart is pushing out for the spring 2025, even though we're still in the dead of winter here in North Dallas. And this is an interesting combination of wood and a ceramic planter. Really love the look of the planter as well. It does have like a brick texture, but I don't mind that at all. And then you can see right here we have just a plastic planter. This one is going to be more of a catch pot since it doesn't have drainage holes. This is by Mainstays. So these are products by Walmart right here. That's just kind of their basic plant product right there. And then as I spin around, Costa Farms has released a bunch of large foliage plants, so we're going to take a look at some of these in detail. The first one I did want to point out is the Philodendron Narrow Escape, or what you would call Philodendron Jungle Boogie. It is the green form of the serrated philodendron series. Now, as far as the serrated philodendrons, the ones I have in my plant collection, my house plant collection, would be the Philodendron Ring of Fire. I've got the Philodendron Pluto, and I also have the Philodendron Golden Crocodile, the yellow neon form. I don't have the green form here, and this is only for $24.97. That is not a bad price considering that it is in a 10-inch planter. It's already established, and so if you're looking for a large foliage plant, Walmart is definitely where you want to go shopping. You want to go plant shopping and find these plants. You can see right over here, this is another nice Philodendron Narrow Escape, or what you also would known as the Philodendron Jungle Boogie. It is just a green form, and like I said again, when it comes to plant shopping trends or just trends for 2025, I would say if you're going to go shopping, look for the green plants. Look for the basic care plants like this. This is the Philodendron Narrow Escape, again for $24.97. Really nice value for it. I think that you would end up saving some money, especially if you are shopping at Walmart. So I'm going to keep looking at some plants here. I will pick some up. Let me know in the comments section what you think. And I'm glad that they do have the large foliage plants as well, like this Monstera Deliciosa, as well as this Ficus lyrata right over here. And plant foliage, you can see that we've got a Monstera Deliciosa right here. Gorgeous looking plant. Love it a lot. And this is another one of those plants that is common, and a lot of people have started to ignore it, overlook it. But to me, the green form, the basic Monstera Deliciosa, is gorgeous as well. And for $24.84, we are also looking at a Sansevieria, or a snake plant. a really good value as well for a large snake plant. So if you have a dark space in your home that doesn't get a lot of light, you can place this large snake plant in that corner and it will still do fine. As far as snake plants, especially the Sansevieria trifasciatas, you want to make sure that the soil is completely dry before you water it, because it can get root rot very quickly. And then again, this one is for $19.84. This one is Plants with Benefits. This one is also by Costa Farms. That is a yucca cane plant. And we're going to look at some of the more inexpensive large foliage plants right over here. As I spin around, we've got a Dieffenbachia maculata. We also have a Dracaena Dorado, I believe. But this one right here, this light foliage Dieffenbachia, which I am super tempted to purchase because look at how light the foliage is. It almost reminds me of an Aglaonema spring snow. Gorgeous plant, but knowing Dieffenbachia, I've tried to grow Dieffenbachia indoors. Even though it is for $19.84, I just know better to add it into my plant collection because it's going to require quite a bit of light. It also requires a little bit more humidity to do well. It is a gorgeous plant. I mean, plant foliage, would you agree that the light foliage is pretty? Now, whenever I'm going plant shopping, like I said before, things to do in terms of saving money when you are going shopping, especially for plants, would be number one, make sure you have an idea of what plant you're wanting to purchase, whether it's some type of philodendron, syngonium, or the plant variety. So identify potentially what plant variety you're going to get. Number two, set a budget for yourself. So if you already know you have a specific budget, it's definitely going to keep you from buying or overbuying plants. You know, one thing that I have realized, especially all through 2024 last year, is I didn't really have a plant budget and I felt like I was over consuming plants. Like I felt like I had to buy every single plant, which really kind of led to plant burnout, where I had too many plants in my plant collection, where I felt like there was no direction in my plant collection. I couldn't maintain the plants. And therefore, it was just a lot more challenging to where the joy of just growing plants kind of disappeared for a brief moment, which I didn't really share with our plant foldies because I don't want you guys to worry about me. Have no fear. I will never disappear from YouTube. I know there are a couple of YouTubers that just stopped posting on YouTube. If anything, plant foldies, I may scale back slightly on my plant shopping videos, but other than that, you will always hear from me. This plant community, the fact that I can take you along with me, whether it is shopping for plants or if I'm showing you my plant chores or my personal plant collection, just know that I will take you alongside with me. I know that you guys really enjoyed the unboxing video from Green Spaces ID. If you haven't ever imported plants or gotten plants from overseas, definitely check that out. It is a comprehensive tutorial from start to finish on unboxing the plants, to cleaning the plants, to actually potting them up in a semi-hydro substrate. Now, as you can see right here, what is always exciting is whenever I go to a Walmart and I see a shipper or a box full of Costa Farms exotic angel starter planters. You can see right here, this is a Palea plant, also known as an aluminum plant. This one is for $5.77. And you can see that this is a gorgeous looking begonia rex. Look at how the metallic shine on the leaves are. And surprisingly, I have 3 begonias. I have 1 Rex begonia and it's done very well. As far as begonias, again, especially with the Rex begonias, you want to bottom water them. So basically fill a saucer up with water, place the plant drainage holes there, let it soak it up, and it will just do fine. You don't really want to get the stems or the leaves wet because it could rot the begonia Rex, like this specific one. And as far as watering, you want to make sure that the soil stays moist. So whenever the soil is, the topsoil is about 1 inch dry, go ahead and water the plant. Over here, this is another type of exotic angel plant. You can see this is the fluffy ruffle fern. Beautiful plant again for $5.77. So I'm just going to pick up a bunch of these exotic angel plants. One thing I will say is if you ever want to start a collection, you can start small by buying smaller plants. I've realized that sometimes we don't want a large foliage plants. I only buy large foliage plants because I want that instant gratification, but there is a huge satisfaction whenever you can buy a starter plant like this and really get the size sizes to grow up. Like this one right here is a purple waffle plant. Challenging plant to grow. I love the dark foliage, however, and let's just keep picking up these plants and looking at these exotic angels for only $5.77.
You don't want my heart, you don't want my love, you just want me crying over you. You don't want my heart, you don't want my love, you just want me crying over you. And I'm thinking about you, thinking about you.
And plant foliage, you can see right here, Syngonium Berry Illusion for $5.77. Costa Farms, I am just really excited because if these are the plants that we're already seeing and it is only January, the first week of January, can you imagine when spring hits and when all of the weather gets warmer? I mean, right now, this week, as I premiere this video, it is in the temperatures in North Dallas. It's about 21 degrees. We are potentially going to get some snow and ice, so the weather is definitely cold. It is not conducive to, number one, buying plants online, because if you're trying to ship out or receive plants in the mail, they might just freeze and you won't have any plants. And then just number two, plants in general, they just don't, these are all tropical plants that need warmer climates. And so whenever you go even big box or plant shopping, just make sure that if you're going to buy the plant and you're in those extreme weathers, to protect your plant, either putting them in a plastic bag or definitely parking closer to the big box store. Sometimes these are the small things that we don't always think of, because if you think about taking a plant that's going to be in 21 degree below freezing weather, from just the entrance to your car, it could actually damage the plant out. So just be mindful of if you're going to go plant shopping. I mean, there, in terms of just the climate, it really depends on it, but I know North Dallas can get really cold. And as far as just the cold weather we have, I always tell people, especially in the North Dallas area, for the plant foldies, especially this week, please be safe. Please drive carefully. Please protect your pipes. Please make sure that you're protecting your plants, bringing them indoors, covering them up, whatever you have to do. Now, as far as the exotic angel plants that you can see right here, you'll notice that there is a plant restock or just an inventory restock of plants, because you can see that a lot of these plants are super fresh, super healthy looking. And that is another time, the best time to go shopping is whenever you see a plant restock, because you'll see that these have just come out of the greenhouses of Costa Farms, which makes them even more healthy and has a higher chance of not having any type of plant pests or health in decline. So as far as a croton, for instance, this is a beautiful plant. Unfortunately, crotons are really either loved or hated by people. I love them. I love the fact that they have very nice, beautiful colors. The only thing about croton plants are they absolutely hate cold weather and they need quite a bit of light for them to really do well. Otherwise, they start to drop their leaves. They also like consistent watering. They don't like to stay dry completely for long periods of time. And then right here is a parlor palm. So this one one is going to need quite a bit of light, just considering it is a palm. It is one of those plants that used to be a lot more popular back a couple years back, but you know, they are making the trend back. And as far as a trend, a plant shopping trend, I would say let's go buy green plants. Let's go back to the basics. Let's find the more durable green plants and add them into our plant collections, or just go to easy care plants like this Sansevieria trifasciata right over here, or this Syngonium berry illusion. And the only thing I would say about Syngoniums is they are easy to care for plants. They just don't tolerate being dry too long. So if you don't water them and keep their soil dry for a long period of time, they start to decline in health very quickly and want to go to plant heaven. But as far as this plant haul so far, it looks like we've got quite a bit of new plants here, which makes plant shopping exciting. I mean, again, plant foldies, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. As you can see right here, we do have a plant restock. I'm super thankful that my plant foldie viewer subscriber Marlon sent me a direct message on Instagram suggesting that I go to this plant location, and I'm really happy I did. It is quite a bit of a drive for me. It is about a 50-minute drive from where I am based at, but overall it is definitely worth it because I'm able to show you brand new plants, brand new trending tropical plants, and just new plants in general, and that's always going to be fun. Not all big box stores are created equal, and we've seen that through some of my plant shopping videos, but this one is definitely one of the best ones I've seen so far in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you haven't already, again, plant foldies, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, but not only just subscribe, make sure you check all notifications, so whenever I do a live premiere or upload any type of new plant content, new plant shopping videos, you are immediately notified and the algorithm will actually suggest it versus just personal notifications. So if you're already subscribed, double check to see if it's all notifications or personalized notifications. But if you haven't already, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button so that way we can continue to go plant shopping together. And as you can see here, this is another trending tropicals plant. Costa Farms has the Epipremnum aureum global green pothos. Love that green on green variegation. I could have multiple plants, and one multiple plant I could have would be all of the pothos plants, global green or even the golden pothos right here. This one is the best value, the best price, one you would save money on, $9.97. This is a golden pothos, again in a 6-inch planter. Very easy to care for plant, very durable, very accessible in terms of going shopping, because you will always find a golden pothos, and it is a beautiful plant. As far as the pothos, it does need to be watered a little bit more consistently, although it can tolerate drought, but when it does really need to drink, it will start to curl its leaves up and actually droop. So you don't really want to stress your plant out that long, but if you stay on top of the watering, it is a pretty fast growing plant. And you can see there are more Costa Farms plants right here. You can see these are in self-watering planters. This is an Aglaonema red cyan. Love this plant as well in a pink planter. Notice how the pink planter matches the pink stems of the Aglaonema red cyan. This is a durable plant, an easy to care for plant, an inexpensive plant, $15.97. If you've been watching my plant shopping videos, plant foldies, buy yourself an Aglaonema. If you don't want to import or get plants from overseas, at least go to a big box store, do some shopping, start your year off right by going plant shopping and getting yourself an Aglaonema red cyan. Now over here is another trending tropical plant, $19.84. This is a Monstera Peru. I love this because look at the texture of the leaves. Now, as far as this particular plant, you do need to give it bright indirect light, water when the soil is either completely dry, and if you give it a moss pole, a totem pole, or some type of stake, it will give you bigger leaves as it crawls up a totem pole or a moss pole. You can grow this as a trailing plant, but really when you start to let it trail down, the leaves get smaller and smaller. Again, this is a Costa Farms trending tropical plant in a new self-watering planter for $19.84. I do think that trending tropicals or Costa Farms plants in general have really good plant price value. This one right here, if you want a Philodendron Birkin, for instance, this one is only for $15.97, and you can see that one of the leaves has already have some good white streaks. I would experiment on giving it a lot of bright indirect light if you're able to push out better coloration or variegation. Over here is an 8-inch hanging basket of a Marantha, a green Marantha right here. This one is for $19.84. And when you compare it to, say, another big box store like Lowe's, their hanging baskets are $20.84. So Walmart is a little less pricey. The plant pricing, or if you're going plant shopping or just shopping in general, I would say Walmart is going to be the more cost-effective, inexpensive big box store, especially when it comes to plants. Like this one right here, this is the first time I've ever seen this plant right here. This one is the Colmenea plant. It says it has beautiful flowers, so I would assume that this one actually has lots of blooms. If anybody knows the plant care tips for this particular plant for $19.84, please leave that in the comment section below. Again, I'm just going to keep picking up plants and showing you the new plants that they have available here. And we've got a gorgeous Philodendron white knight here. This is another Costa Farms trending tropical plant for $19.84. You can see that it is in a self-watering planter. Love the variegation of this. And I just remember when a Philodendron white knight, Philodendron white wizard, or Philodendron white princess was extremely expensive, more than $100+ a couple years back. But now if you want a cheaper alternative, one that will save you money, go to a big box store like Walmart, especially this Walmart right here, again off of Marketplace in Garland, Texas, if you want to get access to these inexpensive plants. And then this again is a Philodendron subbastatum, a beautiful plant as well. This is definitely a new Philodendron trending tropical plant, and I am going to buy the sport variegated form. This one is only for $15.97. So I'm hoping that Costa Farms continues to push out these type of trending tropicals with these new self-watering planters for the less expensive $15.97. Just like most philodendron, you're going to need to provide it bright indirect light and water when the soil is completely dry for that one, and you should do fine. And then we are going to now look at grower bench plants. So these are plants by Wild Interiors. This one is the Alocasia series, the fancy Alocasia. This one is only for $19.97. This is the Alocasia Milo Light, and when you touch this Alocasia, the leaves are super thick and leathery. I wouldn't even think that this is a real plant. Now with Alocasias, they're not a beginner plant, so if you're able to grow Alocasia in a semi-hydro substrate called lechuza pond, these plants will do better for you as compared to growing them in a soil substrate. I have been able to grow some Alocasias long-term in a lechuza pond, so semi-hydro, and I think they do very well. This one right here, I don't know the plant ID. I don't think this is an Alocasia cuprea. So for those that know the plant ID for this particular Alocasia, again for $19.97, please leave it in the comments. I do want to collect Alocasias, but the only thing is I know that the care is going to require me to put in a little bit more effort than I'm willing to place for my plant collection. And that's the thing, plant foldies. it is okay to steer away from certain plants if you feel like the care is going to require you to invest a little bit more time than you're willing to do. I think that if you invest more time on the plants that you want to grow, or at least have plants in your plant collection where you're not having to babysit them or actually water them or just take care of them a little bit more consistently, I think it's going to prevent you from getting stressed. Plants for me are designed to give us de-stressors, to enjoy plants, not to feel like you are obligated or have a lot of these in-depth plant chores. I mean, some people will say that plant chores are relaxing, but the moment where you feel like you're spending an entire day taking care of plants, I would suggest, and that's just me because I was in that boat as well, to reassess whether you need to downsize your plants, which is what I've done. And I believe that that is going to be the trend of 2025, is downsizing plants, finding a more curated, more intentional, more stylistic form in showcasing your plants. And I think there's going to be a lot more satisfaction in growing plants and having a plant collection when you do that. And speaking of easy care of plants, this is a Raven ZZ plant for $19.97. I actually have one growing in my bathroom, and I ended up getting one of those ZZ plants because they're easy to take care of on clearance at Walmart last year for only $8. And that's another thing. As exciting as it is to see these new plant restocks and seeing new plants make it to the big box stores, just know that some of these plants will go on clearance as well. So if you're looking to save money on these plants like this Ficus lyrata here for $15.97, know that if you're going to go shopping, you can hold off from buying plants. These plants are going to be restocked. These plants will be available again. And I think, sometimes having a little bit of restraint is going to save you money long term in terms of the plants. But let me just continue to pan away here and show you all of these plants that are available to purchase at this Walmart. And you can see that this is a Trending Tropicals Casa Farms Monstera Thai Constellation. This one doesn't look like it's got the best variegation. This one is for $19.97. And then you can see over here we have some Sansevieria. This one is the Sansevieria suburbia, and I'm super excited because just a couple of news for the ones that watch my plant shopping videos. You will see me do a collaboration with Succulents Asia. I just got confirmation that they sent a bunch of rare and uncommon Sansevieria or snake plants for me to do an unboxing video. Succulents Asia is based out in Indonesia, so you will definitely see another unboxing plant haul from me, and this is going to feature Sansevieria because we don't really see a lot of uncommon or rare variegated snake plants. So that's going to be another plant video I will hopefully get to you guys in a couple of weeks. Whenever you're getting plants from overseas, it takes about 2.5 to 3 weeks for the whole process to go through. And it's not because it takes that long for them to ship the plant. It's really the phytosanitary regulations that it takes a while for them to get that certificate. But once you do, you'll be able to get those plants safely to your home. But as you can see here, this Walmart really does have quite a bit of plants. You can see we've got a lot of Phalaenopsis orchids, for instance. Love that. And I'm just glad that I have brand new plant shopping videos. I spent this weekend, I was actually finally off on the weekend. I had to work like 3 weekends in a row over the holiday season. So I was able to film quite a bit of big box store plant shopping. I know that I kind of fell off of routine. I tried to get you guys daily plant shopping videos just because, if anything, I know you guys look forward to doing the live premiere chats. Shout out to my Plantfoldy loyal live chat people that come on: Tree, Kathy of Canada, Evelyn,
there's just a bunch of you guys that will always show up there. Bella, I hope that things are getting better for you in Houston. And I just love our plant shopping, plant folding community, the ones that really participate in the live chat. So thank you guys for tuning in always. And hopefully I will have lots of brand new videos like this for you this week. It is a snow day, so I'm glad that I was able to travel all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area to pre-film a lot of these videos. You will also see me do more personalized videos. If you didn't see the teaser of the houseplant tour, I will be premiering my houseplant tour very soon because I did spend quite a bit of time cleaning my house on Thursday last week. I stayed up till